Hello, Harry.
Hello there. How are you?
How's it going, man?
It's going well. I see you're out there trying to get some people on here to talk to you about AI, and I'm more than happy to jump on. This is my first time doing this on Substack, so I'm really interested to see how this works.
Cool. Yeah, awesome. Thanks for joining.
Sure.
So, basically, I'll just give you a quick background on my experience with Substack Live so far. You said that you have some experience doing live streams.
No, I don't. Not. I haven't done any
No.
live streaming with Substack.
Okay, cool. So basically, when I first started doing live streams, which was pretty recently, it was I think there's kind of two types of lives so far that I've seen. It's the first type, which is how I started, which is, creators kind of link up and kind of prepare with a specific topic and come in
Mhm,
with notes, and it's kind of all premeditated, which is great as well. But what I'm trying to do here is have more of a natural, organic conversation,
mhm,
and pretty much bring in anybody that wants to talk. Um, Obviously, preferably AI related, because
mhm.
that's what I cover in my newsletter. Um, But yeah, so basically that's what we're trying to do here.
So let me ask you this: how did you get into AI? What did you? What attracted you to AI? And were you an early adopter?
Um, so starting off with how I got into it, in 2023, I noticed the ChatGPT mobile app.
Hmm.
So I don't think I'm necessarily an early adopter at all. Probably far from it. So when I noticed the mobile app and I also was somewhat familiar with Substack, I said, let me try and build a newsletter with this thing.
Hmm.
So, basically, that was the beginning, and here I am now.
Right.
If you wanna get into, like, how I use it to build my newsletter and all that, yeah.
That was my next question. How do you get your material for your newsletter? Because anything about AI, it just seems like there's this avalanche of information out there. You really have to be a good editor. You have to go through a ton of information and find out which one is, which one's relevant to your audience and that kind of thing. So just by way of quick background, I come from a journalistic background. So I was constantly being fed news releases and all kinds of information like that. So, I mean, you must go through the same kind of process every day.
Yeah, actually, I would say I don't know why sometimes things seem everything seems like it's split into 2 paths, and I go down one or the other every day. So there's some days so I post daily.
Mhm.
So basically, and when you post daily, there's certain things that happen. And number one is you can't come up with ideas every day.
Right.
Just plain and simple. Because this is not the only thing that I do. Like I have an office job, I have another business, and then I have Substack. And even recently, I've been starting to upload to YouTube as well.
Mhm.
So basically, there are days where I do come up with ideas, and what I do is, my iPhone's always next to me, unfortunately.
Right.
And so, well, fortunately or unfortunately.
Mm.
And, when I do come up with ideas, a lot of times it's sparked up by, let's say, something that I read or maybe a YouTube video that I watched,
Mhm.
and I'll take that idea, I'll write it down, and then throughout the day, I will expand on that idea
Mhm.
and
So
bullet point.
is your approach more informational or is it more news oriented like the very latest thing on AI? Which
I think
which
it can be
which route do you go down?
I think it could be a little bit of both.
Mhm.
Sometimes I would say it's definitely a combination of both. Like, for example, a lot of the times it's just things that interest me personally.
Mhm.
So I kinda have a science and physics background, so a lot of the times the ideas will, come from that background, and then other times it'll come from, you know,
Mhm.
watching a clip from the World Economic Forum.
So do you have a coding background? Is that pretty much where you come from? Not at all?
No, I don't
No?
know how to no, not at all.
Don't know how to code?
No,
No, okay.
no, no, not at all.
That's an interesting perspective because most people who are in the AI realm, right? They're kind of coding and they come from more of a technical, sort of background. Because one of the things that I wanted to bring up with you is, I recently went down the rabbit hole of Moltbot and, seeing where that's going because that's a pretty hot topic with with AI that's AI related, so I was wondering if you had any reaction to that.
Oh, well, so basically, I'll say a couple things. One, um, I'm not a code guy.
Yeah.
I super duper respect people that know how to code. I know also that with new advancements in AI, you don't have to know how to code to build, for
Right.
example, apps. Um, but basically, what I do is I kind of explore AI in a way that's more, I would say, scientific, philosophical, and also sometimes modern day issues and trying to look into the future a little bit. Um, but basically, so going back to what I was saying before, when I don't come up with ideas, how do I still do this daily? And the answer to that is I use AI as an idea generator. So
Mhm.
basically, and this happens a lot because my days just fly by, and it seems like even though I'm still relatively young, it seems like time is flying by faster every day. Especially now having kids, like it's just ti time is zooming by, and I'll get to the end of the day, and I'm like, wait, I
Yeah.
didn't think of anything. So then the thing is, I'm a ChatGPT user, like 99%. So it has I turn memory on, and it has a good memory of my interests, and it knows what my newsletter is about. So then I can use it to generate ideas for me, and then I can choose which idea I like the best or combine, a couple ideas together as well. Um, but yeah, back to your question about coding. I'm part of a group called Kazora, and it's a whole bunch of AI creators
Tell
on
it again.
Substack.
Say it again. What's the
I'm
name?
part I'm part of a group called Kazora, Cozora,
Okay.
and, the actual the co-founders of that company are the ones that got me started with, doing live streams,
Mhm.
and they basically there's a whole bunch of creator AI creators in this group. The website is Kazora.org, Cozora.org,
Mhm.
and they got people on there that are so good at coding, at building apps,
Hmm.
all the above. And then I'm just like on the other side of the spectrum where I just like to do cool stuff with it.
So you're a good observer. You're a good beta tester.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
So
I say
listen,
that.
I didn't mean to take over your live chat here, but we have a couple of questions in the chat here.
No worries.
People are asking some stuff, so
Let's,
I don't know where
uh,
you want to
let's
start.
read through 'em. I'll scroll up a little bit here.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's go with Catalina says, "Hi, I'm Catalina Shutman. My son is 26 and he doesn't see the value now in education due to AI." Yeah, that's a major, major issue right now. So I will say, um, although I've been focusing a lot on going live with viewers, I do have a live stream coming up on Monday, I think,
Mhm.
with the professor. And his name is Sam Illingworth on Substack.
I know him. He's a great guy.
Yeah,
Great guy.
and like he knows so much about AI in education. So just a quick shout out to him. And from my very baseline view of what's going on, it seems like students are being shamed for using AI
Mhm.
instead of learning how to use it. So I think it should be implemented into education. I can kind of give an example of I'm not a big finance guy, for example, but I've always known the value in investing in index funds and just set it and forget it and just put everything on auto
Mhm.
and let it grow. And I think that that's also missing in education, for example. So some of these real world applications of AI are just not being taught for some reason, and instead students are being shamed for using it.
Right.
It's an issue for sure. Anything you want to say about that?
Well, the thing that I found with some I mean, the educators that I know fall into 2 categories. Ones are the progressive educators that can't wait to use AI in their curriculums. And there are the other ones that are kind of sitting there going, "Oh my god, we can't." I can't fathom this. I can't even turn on a computer, believe it or not. There's still those kinds. So they seem to fall into two kinds of camps. And with anything in the educational field, it just seems to me, personal opinion, is that, there is a resistance to sometimes new technology, and then there are those that wanna really, really embrace it. I don't see how you can work around it because you know how kids are. If you tell them not to do something, that's the best way to get them to do it. So, keep telling them not to use ChatGPT or AI, and they will find a they'll find a way to do it. Plus the fact, I mean, if you have, students coding and that kind of stuff, you're not gonna be able to avoid it, so I think educators need to get up to speed generally, and I know there are a lot out there that are really trying to do that, try to educate themselves, but let's face it, being a teacher is one of the toughest jobs in the world, so, um, we have to give them a little bit of grace for that, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Um, so, okay, I'll keep reading through the chats here a little bit. Chris Antonelli, who actually I did a recent, live with as part of these going live with viewers. He's a director at Microsoft, and it was really great speaking to him.
Wow.
He says, "Hi, Harry, great to meet you." And he says, "You can tell Harry's a journalist, and he loves it." I don't know if you are a journalist, maybe you look like one.
I am. I was.
You are?
I was. Once a journalist, always a journalist, right?
Exactly. Bill Nathan says, "I would like an invite." Thank you, Bill Nathan. So, yeah, actually,
Let's get Bill on here. I'll jump off, get Bill on.
I mean, you can stay on. Actually, I can have more than one person on here.
Oh, cool, okay.
So, Bill, I will send you an invitation as well right now. Or, I'll send you an invitation right after I read the rest of the chats, and then we'll send Bill an invitation to join in. We'll see. Let's say Chris also asks, Harry, do you use AI? And if so, how?
I do. Yeah, I use it for virtually there's probably nothing I don't use it for. I do vibe coding on it. I've coded for a long, long, long time. Um, I go back to a TRS-80. Bill, you'll or Chris, you'll love this. I used to have a TRS-80 with the old Radio Shack computer, and I used to know BASIC on that thing, and then I just kinda kept coding and coding, and when vibe coding came along, it was like, nirvana. It was great. I really like it a lot. I use it a lot in sometimes writing papers and prompting and that kind of thing, and I find it Perplexity is really, really good for research. It's really fast. It blazes along. So I basically use 3 flavors. I use ChatGPT, Perplexity, and then Grok. Those are the big 3. I've yet to go over to Google for some reason. I don't know why.
I've experimented a little bit with Gemini. It's nice. I think I have to like broaden my horizons a little bit because
Too.
sometimes life gets in the way, and it's like I'm just kind of stuck in my ways.
You get into that kind of same workflow. You get into kind of a rut, and you gotta just force your way out of that, efficient workflow.
Absolutely.
Chris 80, Chris likes it.
I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep scrolling down here. Chris says, "I don't code. I'm a director in tech and use AI for enablement at scale." Yeah, guys, Chris Antonelli, you should definitely give him a sub. Um, he's great. It was great speaking to him as well. Um, we'll keep going down here. Bill Nathan says at this stage they'll just listen. Time difference can be awkward to always come on board. If you change your mind, Bill, and you still want an invite, I'd be happy to invite you on. Just let me know. Um, Chris, all Substack creators, large group. Will Ty, Molpot has gone through many name changes. I think the latest name is Open Claw.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
They had it yeah, I used the old name, I guess.
yeah,
They had to change it for copyright issues and stuff with Claude, right?
I have no idea. I am on ChatGPT, and yeah, because I need to broaden my horizons. Will Ty also says, "Is there a cost to join Kazora, and is it limited to creators only?" There is a cost, but I actually have a discount code that you can find on my profile on Substack. If you look at my profile, there's kind of like a little link, like a little chain link, and you can click on that, and then you'll see I have an ebook on there. There's a Kazora discount code, and then also recently now there's my YouTube link. Um, And then Will Ty again says, I think OpenAI is releasing a new version today. I didn't hear anything about like a new ChatGPT version. Did you
Uh,
anything?
no, it's, who was it? Uh, I just saw
I
it's
didn't hear anything about this.
I don't think it was Chat it wasn't ChatG I have to look it up.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, somebody just did a new, um a new version today. It's supposed to be really, really good.
Like a new ChatGPT version?
Not a new ChatGPT, it was one of the other large language models. Somebody's
Oh,
gonna tell us in the chat, I'll bet you.
okay. Because he said OpenAI, so, mm,
Farida will tell us.
yeah. Chris Antonelli says TSR-80 with 4 fire symbols. I have no idea what TSR-80 is.
TRS-80 was an old computer that Radio Shack put out, and, now I'm really showing my age, back in the '80s,
Wow.
and it was one of the first commercially available computers, that you could program on. You used to use BASIC. It had a black and white screen. It was really a funny computer,
Huh.
but it was very interesting.
Seems like that's before my time. I
Yes.
yeah, I was born in 1994.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's see. Chris again says, "Yes, research is amazing. Also a great editor if given good prompts." And he asks, "Can you guys talk about prompt engineering?"
Uh,
Yeah, definitely. I don't know if you wanna start off, Harry. Do you have anything to talk about?
I'm really bad at it. I'm bad at prompt engineering. I think what I try to do is I try to talk to my keyboard and ask ChatGPT or whatever I'm using, "Here's what I wanna do," and then I always say, "Can you do that?" And then it'll kinda get into the right channel, and it'll kind of go through it that way. So that's the extent of my prompt engineering. That's my shortcut that I use.
Yeah.
Um, when I see these long, long, long prompts, I kind of my eyes just kind of blur over. So I keep it very simple, but I'm not good at it.
Oh, I don't think that keeping it simple means that you're not good at it, because that would mean that I'm not good at it either, and I don't wanna admit that. Um, that was my attempt at being funny. But anyways, yeah, no, I feel like, there's people that get real technical with it. I'm not one of those people. And I feel like, just the phrase alone of prompt engineering seems like, you know hello? Seems like, I don't know, seems like a very technical phrase that I yeah, I don't you ever hear the KISS, keep it simple, stupid?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So that's kind of the way that I do things.
yeah.
It's simple, and, look at this, actually, my dad just walked into the office. "You wanna say hi?" "Yeah." "Live."
Hey, Dad.
"Hey, come say hi." You know, there he is.
Yeah.
So, yeah, um,
Yeah.
basically, that's all I got on prompt engineering. I'm not a very technical guy.
I tell
Um
you what I do use it for. I use prompt engineering sometimes to um, generate prompts for image generation. So I'll go to ChatGPT and say, I want to make a realistic looking, uh, polar bear on top of a skateboard, and then it'll give me a good prompt, and I use it for that sometimes.
and what do you use, Dolly?
Um, no, no, I started using Grok again because it generates some really. I love the layout, the way it just keeps generating different kinds of images. So I use it in some of my artwork. I use it in some of my graphic design, that kind of thing.
Yeah, so f for me, I use Dolly. I know it's a little bit of an older model.
Mhm.
Um, definitely comment on that aspect of things. I found the best images I've created using Dolly has been instead of, I'll give you, like, an example. So, with an article, I could, for example, take the article title and ask for an image for an article titled this, but instead of doing that, if I take an actual section from the article, it will give me a much better image that I could have ever prompted
Mm,
for. So because it seems like it's one of those things where the more descriptive you are, the better the image becomes. And sometimes it's hard to be that descriptive on your own when you're just going off the top of your head, versus, I'll take an introduction that I wrote and then
mhm.
plug in Ollie, and that will give me a much better image than I could have thought of.
Right, right.
Let's keep going through a couple of these chats. Um, so yeah, typically also like I like to do these lives for about 30 minutes or so. So just like that natural conversation, time flies. Um, so we'll read a couple more chats and then we'll probably wrap up soon.
Okay.
So basically, um, in terms of the new model coming out, Farida said Claude and ChatGPT. So I'll
That's
have to
it,
look.
4-6, yeah.
Farida also says there's no perfect prompt, but prompt needs concept. The user needs to know what type of input and output he is looking for sure. I mean, that's pretty much stated perfectly there. I
Yeah.
don't really have much to add to that. And then Eat, Drink, and Be Merry says, "Hi, you mentioned that you're not a finance guy. However, your index fund example is somewhat in the same vein of what I'm wanting to ask about. I'm a complete novice to AI, but wanted to ask if you have any associates or friends who have used ChatGPT instead of paying a financial advisor and been successful." I legally cannot give financial advice. Um, I could just tell you what I do, and I just do index funds, and that's it. I don't want to deal with single stocks or things of that nature. But I also don't think that I don't know if I can even say this. I don't use a financial advisor. I mean, Vanguard S&P 500 is 0.03% expense ratio. So that's the route that I go down.
I'd like to know where all the money went on Bitcoin. Phew.
I am luckily not in Bitcoin. I'm kind of on with the mindset of like a Charlie Munger, Warren Buffett.
Ah,
Um,
good for you. Yeah.
um, so, and we'll keep going down here. Farida says it's called engineering because it's scaffolds.
Right.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Will Ty says it may have been Claude Opus 4.6 that was newly released. I got to get on Claude
That is
and see
correct. That
it out.
is correct. Will's
Uh,
got it.
yeah. And then Harry says for you to join us.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Uh,
definitely join in when you see these going live with viewers. And like I said, I
yeah.
send out invites to viewers, and also we could have more than one viewer join the conversation. That's just
Yeah.
for today's purpose, since we're wrapping it up soon. It'll just be me and Harry for the remainder. And then Chris says the best prompt engineering trick: start a chat, use it for a month for a single topic until you get the output you want, then ask it to show you the rules and guidelines of that chat.
Hmm.
That's really good.
That's
I can
cool.
comment on that, but what do you think about that, Harry?
I like that idea. That's pretty for a month, though?
A month is a long time, isn't it?
Chew up a lot of tokens, right?
Yeah. Well, so I will say, like, I find that the more you use it, the more its memory capacity of you, it just gets better and better. So
Yeah.
I find that, like, even across chats, it will be able to link from chat to chat. But sometimes if you stay within one chat and you're building something in that chat, it might be better to stay in that chat to keep the flow.
Right.
Yeah. That's the way it seems like to me.
Stay on the same channel. You know, the other thing that I use it a lot for is, I do put in spreadsheets, Excel spreadsheets, and then I have it build simplified versions of those spreadsheets for different kinds of reports that I'm doing. And the other cool thing that it does is it does really nice little pie charts that you can just pull out, and it makes you look like a financial genius
Yeah.
when you really don't know what you're doing, but
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
looks good. That works for me.
Awesome. All right. So, yeah, Harry, if there's anything else that you want.
Magic 100,
Oh, yeah,
right?
we did.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Well,
100.
this is really nice of you to invite all people on here. This was really great. I'm glad I jumped on kind of a whim and an impulse. Thank you
Yeah,
very much for inviting me.
I'm very happy that you joined as well. It's
Thanks.
been a good conversation. It's been a good chat. So I will say this also, Harry, if you don't mind, I do like to take clips and
Mm,
the video and post it if you don't mind, and I will tag
great. That'd be great.
I'll
Yeah.
tag everything. So yeah, guys, subscribe also to Harry Martin. Is there anything that you wanted to say on your part? Your Substack or anything like that?
I just did a Substack on media training with another person. Her name's Nancy Thompson, and we did a 7-part series on media training and how people can get better at media on camera, whether they're doing a Substack live or whatever like that. You might want to check that out. It's a pretty interesting series, and I'm really kind of proud of it because I worked on it with Nancy, who was a person that I did a story on probably 30 years ago, and we relinked on Substack just about 4 months ago. So it was kind of a whimsical, kind of serendipitous sort of association. So that's my big plug. Thank you.
Awesome, really cool. Chris says he loves these live conversations, and so do I. And yeah, we'll leave it at that, guys. Subscribe to Harry. It's Harry Martin. And yeah, Harry, I will tag you on anything that I post.
Thanks, man.
And thanks again, guys. Have a good one.
Okay. Bye.
Bye bye.
Thanks.